Dumfries Icebowl. We are here for the Scottish Curling Junior Mixed Doubles Championships. And this afternoon we will be featuring the game of Andrew Cairn and Holly Davis against Faye Henderson and Andrew Robson. My name is Owen McCrossan and I'm delighted once again to be joined by David Ramsey in the commentary box. How was your lunch, David?
Oh, very nice lunch, Owen, and the company was sparkling as usual. Looking forward to this game. It's 4 players. Adam's been in the squad this year. 4 players on the fringes of that. It'll be interesting to see how the combinations work.
Yes, I think Faye and Andrew maybe have the benefit of the experience in this. They've played a bit more mixed doubles, and they've played together maybe a bit more than Holly and Andrew have. So that will be interesting. For those viewers at home who maybe aren't familiar, mixed doubles is a game for one male and one female, and there are 5 stones an end that are played. The one player plays the first and the last stone, and the other player plays the middle 3. So that does bring in an extra element, and I think I am quite excited for how this game's going to go.
The other big difference being the start of the end zone compared to regular curling.
Absolutely.
Nothing can be taken out of play until the 4th played stone of the end.
So as we can see, as I just change our view, we have two pre-positioned stones. There's one guard and one in the house. The team that have the hammer are the ones that have that stone in the house. So we can see that it was Henderson and Robson that did have the hammer. I'll just switch that up. And that's actually there was a pretty solid draw shot that we saw. Each team before the game does have a 5-minute practice, and then they do have a draw shot challenge in which they deliver 2 shots to the tee to see who gets closest. So in this case, it must have been, or it was Faye and Andrew.
Yeah. So Holly's just played her first. She's a left-hander, so an out-turn draw for Holly. Which has come up top 8. That's not bad actually. A lot favour that than being too deep.
Absolutely. I think the key thing about that shot is that it's almost entirely exposed, which gives them an angle that they can work with. Andrew here is going to come down, and once again we see a bit of a difference. The male player is playing, as I like to call it, the bun, not the burger. And we'll see how that works out. There's pluses and minuses to each of it, but it does seem like this is a bit deep, which won't be good. It's going to just grind down in the back 12. Having seen a couple of games, do you think you would have a preference, David, for who you would put where?
It's hard to know because it comes down to the individual. But if right now, I'd probably put the harder player, the stronger hitting player, in the burger, in the middle.
In the middle. Yeah, I think that's the kind of accepted wisdom.
I'm not sure it matters when you get to advanced level because they're all capable of most shots.
But capable of shots, yes. Yeah. The other thing to keep in mind is the sweeping and how they kind of handle the sweeping. So, it may be that someone jumps up and joins in. It may be that somebody.
Well, it was interesting because we were talking about last game. We noticed somebody eventually. It was
Angus and Katie.
Angus and Katie. They struggling with the line, left-hander, right-hander. At one point, about 4th, 5th end, Angus came into the head and started to give ice with a rush. And I spoke to them after the game and they said they definitely were struggling to know what the ice was. So they identified that problem. It's good to see them take some action on that.
See, Andrew draws in, just bumps back. That's pretty good. Just update those stones there. There we go.
So 4th stone of the end. 4th played stone of the end.
Yeah, and that what's that mean, of course?
That means you could remove anything you like now, if it was appropriate.
I would be tempted to play the nose double on that.
I would be too.
Yeah.
Hence my reason to bring up the fact it was the 4th stone.
There's method in the madness.
Oh, nobody else recognises it, Owen, but you're right. But so they've elected to play the freeze with looks and things.
Absolutely, and just to remind you, if you do want to get in touch, we are available on Twitter and on Facebook. You can get us at Scottish Curling, and we're also available through our email addresses. Mine is Owen at Scottish Curling, and it's EOIN at scottishcurling.org. And yourself, David?
Oh, David R at scottishcurling.org. Very important.
So this is the second session for this for this group. And both these teams, I think, struggled a little bit. Henderson and Robson threatened to mount a
bounce off
comeback.
could be crucial.
Henderson and Robson threatened to mount a comeback against Craig and Davy, but that didn't.
Yeah, got off to a bad start, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They were 5 down after
5 down after 2.
And Andrew and Holly lost to McCormick and Barr 6-4. That was a tight game, so we'll see how they rebound after that.
Yeah, McCormick and Barr, pretty experienced pair now. Had some, both in strong boys and girls teams. So Yellow's trying to capitalise on that bounce, trying to put it on the button, top button.
If they do, and I mean, even the top 4 here was really good. We talked previously about controlling the forefoot. This is just sweeping to get by. I don't think she needs to be sweeping this really. There's a bounce off, which is heavy all the way. Again, I would be tempted to move that top one. It does give you options and it opens things up.
That side is out of play for them.
Yeah, at the moment.
And you're right, if they moved it. There's a vulnerable yellow now.
Yep.
It might be tough to take the 2 yellows without losing blues. But
so Faye and Andrew played this competition last year. They finished 4th. They lost out just in that 3rd place playoff game. They're both quite young. They're both 16, still playing the under-17 series. So we'll see how that.
I mean, Faye's had a lot of experience, played in a lot of good teams. Focus on education at the moment, which is quite right. You need to keep that strand of your life going at the age they're at. So you need to try and support that and recognise that.
Faye she's a pupil of Dumfries High. She said her favourite subject was geography.
Geography.
And of course, both these are. It's a great tap there. It just shows the swing on this ice, the great conditions that we do have at this event.
No, it's been particularly good. Particularly big swings out to in.
Yeah.
And you have to be a wee bit more careful around corners.
Mm-hmm.
One side seems to be slightly swinging than others on some of the sheets.
Yeah. Well, the sheet we've been on this sheet for 2 games. It's the 3rd game now on the sheet, so it seems to be the way it's going. Faye this year was in Lisa Davies' team that won the overall Asham under-17 slam. So she has been in a strong team.
Under-17, yes. Because Lisa has a different team in under-21, that's right.
The love of geography, actually. Hey, Faye and Andrew both, you can see they're wearing their Matt Murdoch Curling Foundation shirts. They went off to the Trillium Curling Camp in August 2017 in Ontario. They said it was brilliant weather, really enjoyed their experience.
It's Niall Ryder and is it Hamish Gallagher I think they're going this year? Yeah?
Not sure.
I think it is.
Not sure. It's a great opportunity for some young curlers in Scotland.
It's curling a lot, isn't it?
It's curling a lot, and that's
going through the hole.
Oh wow! It's right the way through.
Just shows you the swing.
And now with their
I think this is a come right in shot. Because if you guard the yellow raises there, if you come right on top of your blue, it's tough for the yellow raise to be shot.
They're thinking that's
perfect.
The option to them. this stone's coming in. Faye is sweeping it in. She does want to get it past this yellow at the top of the house, which she has done. That's a really good sweep from her there. Although they do, it's maybe just not quite come far enough. What do you think?
Well, it's come far enough to prevent the raise on the yellow side. Obviously, it's left a shot on the out turn. Although it's not easy because you're just seeing bits of both stones, so you can easily bounce off, leave them lying too.
I think at this stage it's probably the best they could do is limit them to one.
So I think just trying to play the tap.
Okay, do you think they can get shot from this?
I think they're going to struggle. I think because if they play it hard enough to tap it, they need to get all of the stone or they're going to roll out the 4 foot.
There was a big swing here. We saw with the last one. We overcurled everything.
Need to go, need to go, need to go.
Is she going to get by that or she's just going to jump? It's not ended in a bad position though. It does, I think they are lying too, but at least it's slightly harder for the Blues to score. Seems that Andrea is going to draw here. Draw for the 3.
Yeah, can it come off the yellow as well?
Yep.
Just check in off the yellow, flop off the yellow, gets you 3.
As we talked about in mixed doubles, a 3 in the first end isn't a disaster. It's not. There's still a lot of curling to come.
Interestingly, they're holding a brush for this shot.
Absolutely, you can see that there, that it's May holding the brush.
And Andrew's going to swoop his own stone rather than.
We'll just see this travel down the ice and hopefully be able to see
It just
big
looks.
swing.
It looks a little high, but it's coming now.
Come in.
Trying to finish it. Trying to finish it. Looks good if he finishes it.
It's very good, and that will just rub in perfectly.
I think it's 3.
3. We'll see
I
if
think it's 3.
Oh, we might have a measure. You know that's your favourite one.
1 conceded. Gosh, it must be close. It just shows you
It's very close.
it doesn't. It looks. It's deceptive from the angle we've got. Oh, checking the hole, checking. Oh,
cheeky. Well, wouldn't
just go and get the measure,
Yes.
chaps.
Come on. We like a measure.
Well, nothing like a good measure.
Have they signalled for it yet?
No, we're mucking
Might have
about. No wonder games last 5.5 hours. For goodness sake.
Yeah. We'll have a 3-way measure.
3-way measure. That's particularly exciting.
That is particularly exciting. It's not quite a 5-way measure.
Have you had one of those?
Personally, no. Actually, one of the lovely chats that I had at the Scottish Championships was the umpires at lunch one day. They were using salt and pepper to debate what they would do for a 7-stone measure.
Tell me, why were you lunching with the umpires on? Were you trying to seek an advantage?
Building relationship. I was working.
Oh, I'm sorry, you weren't a player.
Scottish Championships, and here we go. And we've got our umpire minute. I think it is Hazel again on
Hazel.
duty. Let's see. So the first thing she will do.
She's
is
measuring the yellow
she will
stone.
measure the yellow first. So you'll always measure.
So she's
that
measuring
one.
the singleton.
You measure the singleton, and then you compare.
And then
it.
you must go clockwise.
You must go clockwise, as we will see her.
So she'll refer it to the next blue stone.
Yes, and we will see if it beats out. So let's see.
Holly Davis is going to get knock out. Oh no, she's not. She's got out of the way.
Well, Holly has a brown belt in judo, so I wouldn't mess with her.
I'm not be arguing with her later.
Let's see, coming very close. Okay.
Oh. One
It
blue.
seems to be
Two blues.
Two blues. So that
Three
was
blue.
So that was a 3 blue, which is
We think it's 3 blues. And that was a well-conducted measure, if I may say. Stones moved in that were appropriate, so we now know what's happened. It's a pity they hadn't done it 20 minutes earlier, instead of debating it all.
But that was the players' fault, not the other.
Entirely.
It's a strong start, but I think that we talked about it, that that's not the be-all and end-all. I think there's a lot of curling still to come. 3 could happen.
Well, we saw 5 after 2 ends last time come back, and sometimes, I mean, it can go either way, but it's absolutely not over. So yellows will have the advantage of the hammer now. They will have the hidden stone, and see what they can make of it.
Faye is holding a brush, and that is something marked on previously. That's not what the standard is. That is what I do with my partner, but it's not the standard.
So you say that's less common then? Most people play with a sweeper on most shots?
Yeah, seems to be.
You said at the start of a game you often have the brush for your first stone.
I always
just to give you some sort of
always have a brush
reference point.
Yes. Quite an experienced Scottish mixed doubles player who I explained that to, and they gave a quizzical look. And
Did he? She? Goodness me.
She who must not be named.
Andrew a bit heavy again.
Yeah.
First stone.
That's maybe a little surprising given that they did win that 12-shot challenge. Not sure if the conditions are maybe changing. We did see that. Holly and Andrew did have first practice. They're top of the board with the white stones, so they did have first practice. Which is... you would expect them, if anything, then to struggle a little bit.
Yeah, no. Because Faye and Andrew had second, and it's closer to game speed, you'd think. Though there's not a lot of stones thrown in practice, are there, really?
No, not with 2 players. I mean, it is only a 5-minute practice, and you can see here that is a wee bit deep as well.
It's a big bit deep.
Just catching up on our stones. We have 1 inch. So we've pretty much only 7. Same shot. We'll see what ice.
Faye and Andrew like having a brush.
Yeah. And I think they're comfortable jumping up and sweeping their own stones.
They are.
Therefore, they don't need the confident sweeper. You talked previously about that.
I like this. Maybe that's because I've come from the 4-man game. I like having a definite target to go for, and something to.
I think the crucial
to focus on.
Perhaps the crucial difference is that, as well as having a target, you get feedback.
Yep.
You know if you were.
Yep.
It's difficult for like I might have an ignorance where every single stone that I play is quite perfect, and
the other thing is you get a reference about your release too. I mean, good players know how they've released it, but it does make a big difference. And we were also done with the left versus right-hander and the ice difference, and it could be significant out here. So
especially with one.
I'm interested to see how this pair manage this, and have chosen to play this way.
And as we can see, it has proven successful for them at some point. Holly was playing. Oh, looks like this is going to wreck. Holly, although not massively experienced, did play a game at the Dumfries CCT that we've mentioned.
She played the first game with James Craik, and it was her first experience of mixed actually, and they won. They beat Nagy from Hungary, which was an outstanding result. Really, could just come off a win in Hungary the week before, I think.
They won the CCT in Budapest the week before, and I think their previous world silver medalists. So
indeed. So it was
an exceptional result.
Great skill from them. Yeah, they actually lost the quarters of that event, having gone unbeaten through the.
That was James
section. Yes, sorry, Lisa joined.
This team, Holly and Andrew are from Murrayfield, and it's a really nice swept stone. I think that's one of the first ones that we've seen that's been a weight that needs swept, which is something really, that's quite nice to have something where you're sweeping it in rather than begging for it to stop. So they're both Murrayfield curlers, and Holly in fact has said that her favourite curler is Bruce Myatt. There's another.
Well,
another
it's a good choice, isn't it?
Very good choice for mixed doubles and for the 4-person team.
It's a good choice. So this is the 4th stone of the end. Both played stone of the end. So can be used to hit.
Can be used to hit. We haven't seen a hit elected so far.
And we're seeing half and half. I think we're seeing some form of
take out
this time.
And I mean, there is a double on there. If we just
the double's pretty tight, I think, round the centre. You'd need to get to nose.
See the angle at the front.
You
of
hit
the
this
house
and go
here.
round the corner. There's now effectively 2 blue corner, 1 blue corner for sure. If blue hits and rolls behind their corner,
Even
they
if you-
open the back stone.
If you don't catch it,
You don't want to
it's
jam
okay.
it.
See Faye come into shot here.
don't want to
She's going
jam
to
it.
sweep her own stone as well. You need to be careful just to make sure they are past the guard, which they are. See here, they will just miss the back one, but I think that's a pretty good result.
No, I would be happy at this stage of the end. Yellows have to try and hit and roll now. They need to make something happen, so yellow, they can't leave that blue. They have to move that.
No, they have to move that blue. I think maybe if it was... Well, would you consider a draw, as Holly's just indicated, would you consider a draw half behind that?
I think, well, they're going to do that.
With hammer, I like hitting it. You know,
Yeah, and they are hammer. I think they hit and roll round the corner. Even though they open their back yellow,
that's fine.
I think that's okay because they would be deeper in the rings.
Because at this stage they are offering.
If they draw round, it's a very short run back for the blue.
Yeah, they're offering them the double again. Stone is away. We can see Andrew looking quite interested. That looking from our cameras here, we can see that that's over curling already. That's just knocked off the top.
Now the blue's difficult to move.
Yes, more difficult certainly.
And if blue frees on yellow, they're in a strong position.
Yes, again, it's looking at what you want from this end. I think if you are the blues, you're happy with the 4s.
I'm delighted.
If you freeze onto this back yellow, then
and yellow have to think that they have to score. They have to score probably, but they have to score more than 1. And they had a chance there to move that blue, and I think it would have been a better call in the middle stage of the end. Now they might not have a chance.
yes, and then if Faye even just draws into the top 4 here, that does restrict the space, and we talked about before creating space and leaving yourself space. Faye's kicking off now. She just places the stone. Nice positive release.
Looks good for line. To look after it, it looks good for line, and it's really good for line.
It's really good.
And the bounce, it's just bounced a little. Gives them half a chance of checking in.
Yeah, they do need to move this blue though.
Check in, just back 4-way.
Yep.
Check in. Hope they miss the freeze. Stones away. Line looks good actually. Very good weight. If this pulls a little, it checks across. That's a good shot.
That's a very good shot, doesn't it?
I'm not sure it lies 2, but the primary object was to be line 1. If he chipped it 2 inches, he'd be line 2.
I think I must be ahead of that, or behind myself in the stone count here. Apologies. As Andrew is getting ready to throw, Andrew Robson.
So corner freeze it, tap it 2 inches, you probably lie shot.
Yeah, that does look to be just
and
just
tough to move,
line,
tough
yes.
to take out if you stay slightly high.
But that blue is tough to move. The blue, just the back. If you were trying to get 3, as Kerry and Davis, I think at this point you would just have to.
No, I don't think you can now.
Happy for your.
If they play this at all in front of the yellow, you can't move that.
Stone is away. Andrew's coming.
He must be okay. He's halfway down and not thinking he's in.
Sweeping around.
Line's tight, I think.
Let's see.
No, he's good. He's good. He's good. Tapping it back. It's a good shot.
Now, is there?
You can get to the nose. I think you can. And you could flick your blue on the way out. That's what they're looking at. That's what they're looking at.
Let's have a look to see what they can see. Oh, Holly's in the way.
If it's not Robin Bryden, it's Holly Davis.
Well, I'm not going to argue with her, the brown belt in judo. I'd argue with her.
It is there. It is there. It's edge on edge, I would say.
Yeah.
But there is a pool.
I think if you play even backline weight, less than that.
It really depends on the ice you take, doesn't it? You could, but you don't have 2 sweepers to really panel this and hold it. You almost have to play this unswept. So
I think Andrew likes it. He's looking back at it, visualising that shot.
Holly left-hander off the other hack. They'll run straighter for a wee bit longer. Take a wee bit longer to finish.
What do you think this conversation is going to...
I think they're still talking about how much ice they need, to be honest. And that's what they look like they're doing now anyway.
They certainly are, yeah.
And this is where you can contrast the other team who are icing themselves almost every shot.
Yeah.
They're kind of guessing ice here a little bit, in my opinion. And that looks tight to me. Slid tight.
Well, she might have flicked it out. Holly's calling no.
It's got a lot of weight.
Yeah, it does have more weight than we would maybe expect. It's coming into the house now. Oh, she's caught it high.
Steal a 1.
That is 1 for blue.
So they go 4 up. But it's not over yet. 4 up, third end, not over yet.
Rambo, if you were to play mixed doubles, any curler in the world.
Well, it's unlikely to happen.
But if you were, who would you choose? Why?
Choose. I need somebody who could really hold in turns straight. I'm not sure that person exists. We need a beast. And I've been appalled to name somebody now after that.
Okay, so you need let's rephrase. A strong sweeper.
Yes, with a very good temperament.
Okay.
And good counselling skills.
That's hard. Somebody like Vicky Adams?
Disaster in the making, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
because of you?
Because of me, entirely because of me. I think she's got better things to do with her time.
Well, quite. I mean, don't we all?
But they all have.
Them play mixed doubles.
They all have. Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh, nice. This has happened a lot.
It's another wreck.
It's another wreck. This time with the
right. Let's see if
precision ice.
Different here than
Well, it's actually because Andrew was suggesting he'd softed that away.
Okay. Let's see if our.
So that's a good setup for the yellows to get back in now.
Is this young and prepare whether they will choose to come around the corners, because I was in a very similar situation to this at CCT, and I didn't like to come around the corner, and I was thoroughly chastised by my coach. And he was quite right. So I think now I learnt my lesson. I think come around the corner immediately. It seems that they are. It does look light of weight, unfortunately. Could be that fresh track they've not played down there.
Wouldn't have played that line. Of course, they cannot hit yet. Exactly right. Yeah, so
I keep falling behind on this stone.
That's it's very, very unsettling for me. But I see you've caught up. That's good. So hopefully they'll go round.
I think.
Or even chip it back, I suppose. But that's tough to call. Tough to get through the hole to do that.
It is a small hole with this big swing.
Yeah, funnily enough, I thought yellows might have drawn round the marked stone with their first one, rather than go around the corner. I just think it was an easier line. And the way that Andrew and Faye are coming, because it's the kind of line you've played, a wide to across the centre line. They put this in top 6, top 4. It's pretty good. The yellow's still visible then.
Yep.
And then to try and beat that coming through the in-turn is very difficult. Coming through the out-turn is a tough draw. There's probably a shot wide round everything.
Yeah, I think that's.
But it probably won't beat this shot.
Faye is sweeping it all the way. Just come off now. Comes in. This does look pretty heavy. It's just straightened up there a little bit.
On sweat weight. I thought it would finish more.
Yeah.
They're okay with it.
Well, when it hit that centre line, it seemed to just
didn't seem to move, did it?
Which is what we have seen.
It was back tee weight. I think they're trying to chip the blue and go move to the right as we look at it. I think that's what they've called. They're looking at. I think they've called hack weight, have they?
Yeah, they have. But the difficulty, of course, with this is that it's difficult. You'll be rolling back tee.
Yeah.
Freezes for you.
And if it runs straight on its way into the rings, it's going to be tough. You're just going to have to miss that yellow at this weight. And then hope it pulls a little.
Let's see the line coming in.
He's good line at the moment.
It looks pretty good.
Just straightening there. And it'll roll. It's a good shot though. Good shot.
Very good shot.
Now we'll see what this out-turn draw through the hole looks like. I think they have to take more ice than they think here. Probably have to take middle of the white ice. More, they've taken more. No, they've taken edge of white. There is a pool.
Interesting to see what this does off the centre line. It's not necessarily
if you remember that guard that's out there was this path. They tried to play this path and we're just a bit light. So I think there is a finish here. This is. If you're positive release on this, you might not get inside the blue guard.
That's true, and that is the danger. We can. When Faye releases the stone, we can flip to a front view.
Oh. Well, wobble. I don't know if you can also. Big wobble. Big wobble.
Big wobble from.
So that
was in the air.
Well, and immediately you lose control of weight because you're busy trying to stay upright. And as we suspected, she's going to wreck on that blue and chip it wide.
And this is a more traditional kind of mixed doubles.
Is that 2 yellows, Owen?
Oh goodness!
They like
have another
measure. I mean, what a day for measure it's been.
A terrific day for all.
No, I think it's definitely. Why I don't know why I'm thinking. I think it's definitely 2. I've got actually no idea how many yellow lie. But there's no way in. But there's obviously this shot. You can chap the blue back and check in and lie 3, and then there's not a big hole to come through.
Yeah, I do like a hit and roll in here. If you sit just on the right of the button, or the left of the button, sorry, as we look at it.
Is there a hole through the centre?
No. It may well be.
Not often you can watch a game of table tennis at the side of the ice rink. He's just missed his slam.
So some of the unique hosting features of Dumfries.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, there's some terrific members of the junior club who are doing some interviews for us across the weekend, asking the hard-hitting questions of our players. Like, actually, why did you miss that shot?
It's actually really nice to see them all down. So many of the squad playing and having a chat with them and getting familiar with this mixed doubles format. That was a disappointment. It's far too light. They'll be disappointed with that.
I thought he would err on the tap side.
Yeah, well, absolutely, because even if you'd come inside the blue, you'd have rested.
Well, Faye's looking like she's going to use her own here to kind of come in off.
There's enough finish past the guard to probably even draw the shot still.
Yeah, I would agree.
I'm not. So she must be playing a little bit of weight at the ice she's taken.
Yes. We'll just cut to our other camera here, so we can all see Faye slide over.
Yeah. So don't wobble, Faye.
You're live.
So you can see her cleaning the running band there. Now it's good. She's done that good pre-shot routine from her. She does the same thing every time.
That's how critical do you think that is?
I think it's crucial because you just feel comfortable. You've been here before. Just going to do what I always do.
No shot is different. That's a
better slide. Wee bit right shoulder leading, a little bit closed upper body. Weight must be okay. Starting to finish. Look at the swing on that. It could go through the hole.
Let's see. Oh, goodness, it did.
No, I think she's certainly moved 1 back. I would suggest yellow lie 1. I think yellow lie 1. I might be wrong.
It's difficult, very difficult. I would certainly say the one that she just played out counts the one at the back of the 4-foot.
Yeah, I think that
there is a double here, maybe. No, it would jam on the yellow, wouldn't it?
I don't think that. I think they just want to check in for 2. I think.
Yep. Yeah. I think.
I don't think you can move. If you hit the other blue, it bounces your yellow. You roll out a wee bit. Right. I don't think you can take both blues out.
Yes.
So just be a flop in, or a straight draw actually. Just follow phase and you get 2.
Just slightly more weight than he'd played on his first.
Two would be good. I mean, there's still a stone to come, haven't they? Lie 2 now.
Yes, this is Andrew Kerrin's last.
So he doesn't want to come. He'd be better just to come in top 4 and not let them follow him in.
Does look a little bit heavy. He's playing.
Hits the inside. He's good. Hits the inside. He's good. Where is it?
See if Faye moves out of the way.
It's okay, but it's you can see most of it.
Let's have a look at our front view.
Now the danger is you hit a wee bit high on this and take your own back blue out. They're drawn for 4.
What hack is Andrew coming off? Andrew's a right-hander.
Right-hander, yeah.
So there'll be about half a stone hidden, I'd say.
Correct. We know there's a big finish, but if he hits a little bit high on this, he jams his blue at the back.
It could be a 4.
It could be a 4.
Very exciting. And we'll just switch to see Andrew's pre-shot routine. See him once again cleaning the stone. Stands up, aligns himself to the broom, and I think maybe the target for them does help with that pre-shot routine.
I'm sure of that. I think they'll feel it's where they've been, you know, they've thrown thousands of stones, these kids, but always to a brush or a target.
We'll see him, oh, that is very wide.
He's moving now,
Well
though.
finished.
He does not want to hit high.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, no.
He's almost hit it. He's hit it
He's
so
actually
high.
it's okay.
Yeah,
He's,
yeah.
well, mind you, the blue's still there to chip back for 4.
Yep. So Holly does have a chance here for 4. And
Holly's just thrown her kipper at the opposition. That's a shocking Edinburgh habit. And now she's nearly fallen over.
how important do you think it is for Holly to not think about the end result here?
Well, I think it's probably pretty crucial, actually, because she looks terribly excited already.
What's it for?
and I think she's needing just to focus on process here.
Okay,
Line up, slide and release. Now she's left-hander.
Yeah.
She's coming off the wider hack.
So she will
She'll
see more
likely
of this
get more
stuff.
draw,
Yeah.
and if she softs it, she'll get a big draw.
Yeah.
And she needs to think she's playing tap back here, I think.
Yeah, that's all she needs. She just needs a
And-
backline weight.
and
Having a little chat with her partner. I don't know
and
how
this
much-
stone will be made by the sweeping judgment. You know, if it's in the ballpark,
Yeah.
the sweeping judgment will make it.
Well, because if she draws to it, and if it's the back tee, back forward.
So this is where they have to, where their communication and exactly where it is
Yeah.
will matter.
Okay.
Looks a decent slide. Looks a decent release.
Andrew seems to be happy with it.
They're content at the moment. So Holly's trying to see, and Andrew's sweeping from right behind the stone. It makes it really tough to see the line.
It is very hard. Here it comes. It's
It
coming
looks
in now. He's
close.
sweeping for
It looks
finish.
really close.
If she gets this finish here,
It looks
comes.
really. It looks
Oh,
excellent.
that's a superb
Now
shot.
there you go.
Superb shot.
Well
Holly
done.
Davis.
Well
That
done.
is 4.
A beautiful weight. Just what,
Absolutely.
slightly more than back ring weight. Game's all square.
After 3 ends. Oh, how brilliant. Do you think that the Henderson-Robson team missed a chance there maybe to open things up, keep things a bit simpler?
You could argue that, but they had a chance even with their last stone to
Yeah.
to bottle the end up. Yeah, not a tough shot really. Just played wide and checked the stone in. Because if they come in at a lighter weight there, that shot's not possible for Holly at the end. So updates on the scores. James Craig's 3 up on Carrick after 2. Bryden 5, Rowley 2 after 2. And Cromar Brown is 4-0 after 2. With the game we are watching just disappearing from view.
No, that's it.
4-0, 4-0.
See, that's some really nice weight control there.
Yeah, and it's slightly deep.
Slightly deep, but I think that's not.
So
It's better than what we've seen, I think.
I'm being, talking about a foot
Being grumpy.
over 40 yards.
Being grumpy.
And they're just trying to face it. A wee bit of discussion. Probably about what? Andrew's tending to be heavy with his first stone.
Does look heavy coming down the sheet.
That's
Not
I
quite
think
curling.
3 of the 4 ends he's just been played weight.
He's nipped all flat. See here, that's really not a good result that it's left the yellow line and you can come in and
Trying
sit
to come,
for 2
trying to come
in
the
bottom.
same way, just come top button. I think with the same hand.
Would you like to come the same hand, or do you like?
No, I
coming
like
to
the
that
same
back
hand
weight?
this time because you'll show what I would call half. If you get half round the yellow.
Yeah.
The Christmas tree, as Gordy
Christmas
Kennedy calls it.
Yes.
Gordy Kennedy, infamous coach from Aberlour.
Infamous. Dare I ask, what makes him infamous?
He's just very opinionated. I can't stand people who are opinionated,
It's not like you.
Not like me at all.
No. So here we see Andrew slide down. It's a nice slide. Positive release, maybe slightly.
Yeah, slightly backed it. Maybe adds a little weight.
Maybe. Holly's not.
Holly's
really touching
happy with it. Finish is good though. on really swinging ice, that's a good release.
It may overcurl.
I think it's overcurling.
And coming right to the back blue. There's a pocket there, but
it's a fraction deep, and so it gives the opportunity for Faye and Andrew to nail one on top of that. And if it had been a foot shorter of that, that shot's not there. So the margins are tiny.
But even for Karen and Davis, I don't think that's a bad result.
Not at all.
Still on. And
no, and there's a blue behind it. Remember.
Absolutely.
But if this is played, that lineup's going to be pretty secure for a while.
Yeah. Don't need to get my metaphors out again. Talk about pipes and slippers.
No. We only want Scottish similes.
Oh.
No metaphors. Okay.
It's like
and as.
Like a burn supper. Is that Scottish enough for you? You're just ignoring that and moving on.
I am. It's far too academic for me.
Quite. Phase away. Let's play this stone and see Andrew Karen following her up.
I can't see anything because I'm looking at the long screen. Oh, there, I see it now. Oh.
It's coming in a little bit heavy again.
Yeah, it's probably going to chap the yellow back and bounce. No.
Oh, that's very heavyweight. If she was
Yellow's got a real chance now. We'll use a flop or a draw. The freeze is perfect.
They are sharp. Let's see Adam here.
4-all.
That's right, Andrew. Said Adam, oh goodness, that's his brother. That will not be.
No, that won't go down well.
Not at all.
I was speaking to both of them over lunch actually. They were tearing strips off each other.
As always.
This will be Adam's last year in juniors, I think, is it? 21 now?
Adam or Andrew?
Adam.
I don't think so. This is Andrew who's playing now.
Yeah, but Adam's 21 now.
Is he?
I think Adam's
we'll find out.
Yeah, I think
They're just top button. I think they're only sitting one shot. Difficult to tell. We might have another measure.
Yeah, it's a good place though.
Yeah, they're controlling that top of the tee line, which is important. The stones are angled at a good place for them as well. Interesting that they're electing to come here again. They haven't chosen to hit, which I think is costing them, to be honest. Maybe gambling a little bit too much. I suppose it comes down to execution at the end of the day. This looks tight. Going down, is it going to catch the guard? Looks like it does.
It's opened it up too.
What would you call here if you were Yelder then?
This is their last stone. I think you can chip the blue out and sit almost frozen, double frozen on the on the shot.
Back.
If you just
what way would you be coming?
Catch it
through the gap.
Yeah, out onto the gap.
Yeah.
Just chip yellow across to blue, or just literally
nudge it
and sit on top of it.
Okay. And there's a cluster.
Knock it back one stone.
On the button. Yeah.
One stone.
Yeah.
I think they're really struggling to score.
Yeah.
Would have a big risk of losing both their blues. Even if you come in top four is good because the same shot still applies. They're going to struggle to score.
Yeah. Second stone comes in now, looking for that big finish. Playing just to guard weight.
Yes, look at the swing now.
It's not a bad.
That's okay.
It's fine.
It's okay. You're stealing one now.
It's not. Yeah, it's not the most aggressive call. But
no, you're stealing one now.
Yeah, there's going to be some sort of a run back attempted here. I'm not quite sure. Andrew doesn't look sure. He's indicated for the measure again for the second shot. So if they don't move, we could have our umpires back in action.
Andrew, we were both studying over lunchtime.
He was. Do you know what he studies?
I think he's doing actuarial maths, I think.
He is indeed. Mathematical and actuarial science.
I sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I had a look at his notes, and that was enough for me.
Yeah, you had a glance.
Not even that long. And I knew it was gobbledygook.
He studies at Heriot-Watt University in Edinburgh. They played last weekend at the University's Open, which is in Stranraer.
Oh, yes, there was a few incidents down there here.
Said it was a very, very
considering one or two well-known bars. Gavin, particularly. He seemed to have had an incident at Stranraer every year for the last 3 years, including apparently jumping off the police station roof in one of the years. I don't know whether he was escaping or not.
You do know you're alive.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Gavin. I'll explain to your mother. Don't worry. He's broken his leg this year.
I heard that, yeah. That was ankle, I think.
Well, that's part of your leg. I should know. I'm a veterinary surgeon.
Andrew's favourite curler, he told me, was Oscar Eriksson.
Yes. No, that's a good choice too, actually, because he's really a really good player and part of Edin's team. So.
And Andrew's favourite curler is Nicholas Edin. Andrew Robson, sorry.
It really upsets me that Edin's got his own lane getting over the Forth Road Bridge. Have you noticed that? So, I mean, you'd think you'd have given David Murdoch a lane before you'd have given the
coming through.
Edin a lane.
Is she coming
and
through?
She's making it. Oh!
I didn't think that was on. So we may have a measure here for the second shot.
Steal of at least
one.
one.
Steal of one. Just
shot to come.
Oh dear, so I'm ahead of myself.
It's far too much frivolity.
Apologies. I'm obviously not keeping up to date with the scoreboard. So this is the last shot here for yellows. Now they're electing to tap that blue, which I think, given that it was Faye's last rather than Andrew's last, it maybe would have been an idea to rip something, play something in a bigger weight, open up a side so that you can leave something for your last, I think.
Well, I think there is a shot though. Out turn tap
for blue.
How many stones are left?
There's one each. Holly's away. She's coming around this side.
Is it? You can definitely.
Okay, I suppose with the lefty perspective,
there's a higher line for. And she's signalling it's high line.
Yeah, there it comes. It's very high. Not finishing the same on this hand.
Moving now, though. Moving now.
Oh, that may have ended the measure debate. That nudge. Now this is the last stone. This is a stone, I promise. This is an interesting one. So we had talked. I mentioned in previous broadcasts, I've been fortunate enough to coach some mixed doubles, and one of the things that we talked about, and actually we'd been burnt by before, was steals of one. So when you steal a one, it's not that important. So if you, for instance, in a game, if you take a one with hammer, your opposition takes one, you take one, and then fourth you steal one, you're 3-1 up, but there's not much of a difference, particularly if your opponent gets a 2, you're forced to one, they take their power play, and all of a sudden you're flying. So and they seem to be throwing.
The difference here is because everything's round the centre, whereas in a conventional game, a team that goes 2 up can do something about the centres.
The steal of one has been conceded, and the last stone was not thrown.
So we now come to
The fifth end.
fifth end. Henderson Robson got the hammer. Will they choose a power play?
I don't think so.
No, you don't think they will, do you?
No,
And you certainly wouldn't.
absolutely not. We've been here before.
Well, I'm just trying to make sure you're consistent. So they'll reserve it for the next time they have the hammer,
I think so.
possibly,
Yes.
because they're running out of times to have the hammer now.
Well, that's yes. And that is the risk. And there have been. Oh, my goodness.
Well, there we are now. Isn't and I'm really encouraged by this.
Okay. Why would you
think-
play this now?
I think this is a chance to score a definite 2, possibly 3.
Okay.
And go 2 up if you take a 3.
Yes.
Okay, you've used your power play, but the opponents will then have to make a decision next end.
Now here we go. This is my favourite shot. This is the.
So they're going to play the
attempted
tick. Now, why do you think they're playing the tick, and not the alternative of drawing the rings or a centre guard? Why choose the tick?
I think it's personal preference. So we'll show here that Andrew's giving ice out here, and Holly will try and hit this stone on the right hand side as we look at it, try and force it into the rings, without moving it all the way through. It does look like it's going to move. It's starting to move. She is going to cross face. If this does go out of play, then it will be replaced, and it looks to have just.
I think that did not finish properly.
Goodness.
They're having a close
We're
look.
having a debate. Well, the line must be different than the barrier.
What?
I wonder if they'll
I
call
thought
an
that
error
actually
on
drifted back into
here.
play.
It did, yes.
But I don't know if it hit the barrier and did that. Oh,
Okay, so we're
so they must have touched the barrier or be touching the barrier.
Yeah, it must have. Well, maybe the line on the edge of the sheet is a little bit in from the barrier.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So different teams do try different things.
Now there's a real chance to capitalise on your power
Yes,
play.
no, absolutely. I'm just interested as why you would play it now and not in.
Because I think it should be used as a more aggressive play to get ahead rather than to stay ahead or to close the game out.
Yeah.
And that's just an impression I get. That I know it's a relatively new part of the game and everybody's still feeling their way with it. And very rarely do you see it early in the game.
Yep.
But I really like the fact that they're playing it now.
There you go. They're trying to finish.
This is the
stone.
problem, slight problem on this ice. That stone's not finishing.
Yeah, and we've seen that.
We've seen that a lot. We've seen this sheet all the
Yeah,
time.
we've
So,
seen
but
this
that
for
in that
3
side of this sheet now, you
Yeah.
could argue they probably don't know that, of course. But
Nope,
if they put the
no.
power play set up on the other side of the rings, which they could have done,
Yep.
we know there's a bigger finish to the other side.
And we can see now, if you look at that view, it's completely open.
Still can't hit it though.
No, and this is the frustrating thing when you don't have a hammer and you're defending a power play. Is how do you react to this situation?
And
Some teams play the tick again.
even if they tap this
Yes.
or do something,
Yes.
we can guard it with the next stone. You could still have 2 hidden behind 2 corners.
Yes. I think if he was. See, now this is similarly probably won't finish quite as much. And you can see here straightening up.
And it's knocking it in behind the corner.
Now they can hit at this stage.
I like this call.
Do you like a hit and roll?
No, I like this. I think they're calling guard freeze.
No, they're calling it.
You're still going to be able to see a slash double line.
Yeah. Which will almost definitely be tried. Let's have a look at Faye's slide as she comes
Well,
out
this will move unless she plays big weight. This will definitely curl. And they're not taking a lot of ice, so I think this is normal weight.
So, Faye kicks off.
She gets slightly outside the stone, and if she doesn't throw it back from there, it's easy to be soft, tight.
It's coming now, starting to finish.
Sit,
Well,
bite,
if that
bite.
sits, then that is a very good shot, but we could. Goodness, that's difficult to tell. Looks like it's out.
Now the double's there. The difficulty with this double is icing it, because we've seen it be pretty straight.
Yeah. We can just
And there's a risk of hitting
this
this.
other view,
Risk of hitting this high. You know, if you hit half stone, you get the double, I think.
Yeah.
If you hit quarter stone or less, you probably jam it. I think the winger's in. I think the winger's in. I think the winger might be in.
We might have our 6 foot measure, which is even more exciting.
You have to do that clockwise too.
Yes. Of course, everything clockwise. But even hitting the nose here isn't
No,
too bad,
no. You're right. You're right. The main
I think
thing
you
is
want to play for that rather than missing, obviously.
Absolutely.
And Andrew is away. He looks very tight. Oh, I'm not sure if he was calling the run.
Oh, gee. Oh, no. Now he's in serious bother.
That was not a good result. I'm not sure if that was the call. I wouldn't imagine. I'm not sure why he was running that one back. Maybe he wanted to move everything. This is a very good chance now for Henderson and Robson. Would you be tempted to split the rings at this point?
That lineup is so good.
Yeah.
I don't think I would be.
So you would come around again because it's so good?
Yeah, there's a possibility. As long as you don't... The danger is to try to come around and stick out a bit.
But that's why I thought just come to the right-hand side of the house.
We've seen that happen a lot. So you could, if you put something...
Let's have a look here.
If you put something...
See how good this lineup is.
Well, it's really good.
So that's why I would consider going...
And the only thing that's there is a corner freeze on the back blue, which you can take away by coming half round the yellow. If you get half round the yellow, I think it's a really good shot. If you split the rings and you go deep, it's okay. You don't want to go to the other side of the rings and leave a double back to
well, that's why I thought back
house, other side would be a very valid call.
Yeah.
It's maybe especially if your blue winger's in.
Yeah, I mean that's
you're spreading everything.
Yeah, and you'll have 10 feet.
If you try to come round the yellow and don't, they could be slashing it into that.
Yeah. I think, depending on the angles that are left here, I think Andrew will probably try and run that yellow back in.
So let's see if this finishes. It's a good angle to watch this, actually.
Yeah. It's coming, but
it looks tight. It looks tight. You do not want to chip your guard, but it's straightening up now.
It's straightening now, as we see.
If that tucks at all, it's a good shot. Look at that. It's hardly finished from there. It's a good shot, though.
You can see it's out of the rings.
The problem is well, maybe the freeze isn't there. I think the freeze is there, but just
I don't think the freeze is there now.
So little finish that you'd have to pass that guard by nothing.
Yeah. If you passed it still touching centre, you might not freeze.
I think you're right. Which you'd expect it to be a bit more draw.
Yep.
It's this particular piece of ice. It would be nice to see what happened on the other side of the sheet. Reverse mirror situation. I think there is more swing on the other side of the sheet.
Should we bang the window and tell them to take the power play on the other side?
We'll need to do something about it.
Yes, this is the kind of the trouble that comes with the power play is that the team without the hammer are kind of sucked in, and they do need to commit and be quite aggressive and risk giving up a 3 or a 4. Again, it does come down to execution. That does expose the 2. Holly could have the option of a double on her last. Faye and Andrew are considering their options. What do you think is a good call here?
I think the yellows are going to play the double.
Yeah, I think so.
And if you come in with their brushes, I think they go wide.
Yeah.
I'm not sure this strengthens your end. Because if they try to play the double and hit and check in, and you've got one to catch on, it gives them an option.
Yep. If you come to
if they're going to play that
on the
double,
right-hand side,
can they play the double and roll behind the yellow?
I think so.
They could.
Yeah. But there's such a finish on this ice coming out to end it. You know, there's such a finish that they could tap it back.
What's the call? Draw around the yellow?
Draw around, yep. Draw around the yellow.
Well, you do not want to go deep anyway.
No.
And actually, you could actually make the hit and roll behind both centres possible. I don't think this is the right call. I'd be going wide on the other side. You have to leave something. You leave them the double. You leave them the draw down the yellow, which is really risky because you leave a 5 on.
I don't think they'd be.
I don't think they play down that.
No.
So I think they play the double and try to roll.
Yep.
If that's just about there. It has to be just about there.
He's away. We'll cut to this other angle so you can see the finish of the stone as it comes down.
Line's good. Looks heavy.
Does look heavy. You can see how big this swings now.
Look
it's
at the
moving
movement now, Phil.
And they may end up on the other side of this yellow. Oh, lots of bodies in the way. We can't quite see where that finished. It's
a good shot.
It's a good position.
In terms of the shot they called, but what does it leave yellow? They're thinking the double and roll ends there.
I think you try and hit and roll. To
the other shot to do is to just freeze that blue that's been played. You got to make it, but you restrict the score.
Do you mind a hit and roll to that blue?
I think it's a tougher shot.
Yeah.
It is there. If you freeze round that yellow, you'd be second shot, I think, and they couldn't move you.
Yep, and it'd be tricky for them to outcount you.
It narrows even down the draw for 2 then, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Sometimes you just have to make that shot.
Let's see Holly in her slide. She's got her pre-shot routine here off the lefty hack.
Just watch. Sometimes Holly just starts the stone.
Oh, she does seem to be going for the hit. Saying no. Will she lift the double? She does.
Yes, she does. If the winger's not in, the winger's maybe not in actually, which does make a difference.
Yeah, it does.
Maybe on the line 3 against, to take 2 out is good.
Yeah, and giving up a 2 with the power play, I do think is a good result.
No, you'd settle for it.
Or a satisfactory result, maybe.
Yeah. So they've only gone 1 up after the power play, assuming the nose hit this. Still looking at the winger. I'm
chuckling
not sure.
and laughing. Faye was checking the whole game. I'm not sure if we'll end up with a 6-foot measure. I think I would call it just to see.
Well, it must be close.
Yeah. If you look at it this often,
and we don't know if the rings are right. Remember, Dumfries rings. They'll be perfect. Hardy Engineering, perfect rings.
Absolutely. Nice purple and green. Don't see that anywhere else.
No.
I've decided
with multicoloured.
One of the things on my my bucket list would be to sponsor a Bond spool.
Well, you can't afford that one.
Oh no, not yet. Put my face on the button. That'd be good.
I think that would just deter
interest. Go as he. Oh goodness.
So the power play.
Oh, not a happy boy.
Is 1.
It's definitely 1. Are we going to see?
Faye must measure it, I think.
Oh, go on, Faye. We love a 6-foot measure.
That was big weight, wasn't it?
It was very big weight. It seemed to be what it was called. They did do quite tight ice. Oh, they're consulting with umpires. No, they've kicked it away.
I don't know how that was resolved in that way then.
We'll cut to the scoreboard to see what they hang. Put their little dot on it. Oh, it was just a 1.
Yeah. So, my theory about power play blown out the window.
By poor execution.
Much to your delight.
Never. I think we will see a power play right back though here. Level, 6th end, take your power play. Like you, in your school of thought, then you go 3 up, and 3 up, 2 to go, happy days.
I'm okay with the power play now, yeah. I was okay with the last power play.
Yeah.
Just, missed a few shots.
I think Holly said with glee that she's never taken a power play.
No, they'd never played one until today.
Yeah.
So that's her.
Let's see if they're going to do it. No, it doesn't seem like they are. They might be saving it for the 8th end, which is an interesting call.
So they have the hammer here. If they score here, they won't have the opportunity of power play at the next end.
So you cannot take your power play in the extra end. You can only
No,
take
no,
it
I don't mean at the extra end. I mean at the eighth end.
No, well, so if they score here,
They
this
score
is the
here.
sixth.
The other team will have hammer at 7.
So what you could see them do is purposely give up a steal of 1, so then that their opposition can't take their power play. Very, very devious.
Very. So, good opening stone, perfectly on the face of the yellow. It's extraordinary, very irregular too.
It's a very good first shot.
Joined in the commentary box by a neutral observer.
Yes, we're joined here by Adam Kerrin, who's of course brother of Andrew. How do you think he's getting on, Adam?
He's doing alright. Fought back in the game, scored a nice wee 4, and they played a nice end there to cut them down to 1 in the power play. So
I've never heard a 4 described as wee before. It's most unusual. You're obviously a big scoring player, are you? 5 out of 6, is that big?
yeah, but I mean he's a wee player, so it's a wee 4 for him.
Yes, that is true. So this is good. I think they're setting up here to try and score. They're happy to score. Then maybe force their opposition and then go on from there. So how have you found the event so far, Adam? I think you've played 1 game so far.
Yeah, I played my first one out today. Ice is really good swing for mixed doubles. So it's you can never take too much ice per match, so you're always struggling to get around the guard, but no, it's good.
No, so credit to Graham and Dumfries and everybody.
Absolutely. And we'd noticed a few things, that the finish was really nice kind of for the traditional end, but for the power play it was maybe a wee bit, there wasn't quite as much. Did you notice that in your game?
Yeah, it did, kind of where it was cutting, starting to curl for the draw to the centre when you're playing away, it was straightening up a wee bit. So we don't know if it's just a wee bit dished or if it's just fresh pebble, if there's not been hot stones in it, because we found if you were thrown to the corner you had to throw a wee bit heavier because almost nothing had been down there at that point. So.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's quite a common thing in mixed doubles. We can see Faye is bringing this one in. She looks a little bit light. So you're playing with Molly Keane. How did that partnership come about?
Well, actually it came about because someone for the under-17 pairs at Murrayfield a couple years ago, someone pulled out at me last minute, and so me and Molly played together, and then we played the next year. We just thought we'd play this as well, just for a bit of fun, and because we never played mixed doubles before, so we thought may as well give it a crack and see how it goes, and we just thought we'd keep on playing. We got to the quarterfinals last year, bottled the quarterfinal, but so we ought to come back and try and do a wee bit better this year.
Very honest, very honest.
Because Molly's based in Elgin, isn't he? She's, so it's tough to practice together a long way apart.
So looking at this setup, this is quite this is almost a textbook setup, David, for mixed doubles.
Yep.
It's almost better for Phil Henderson's team.
I think so. Yeah, they're controlling the top of that 4 foot. The angles look good for them.
That yellow staggered.
So Adam, if this was you, what would you be calling if you were your brother?
I think you got to try and throw the out-turn draw for Andrew and just try and get a corner freeze on that top blue and just try and get that blue going across the face of the yellow, or even just moving things about like a backhand white, just try and bump everything.
I think what we've not seen and what I'd seen from some of the international teams at the mixed doubles and at the World Mixed Doubles was clearing that guard at the first opportunity, recognising the angles aren't working for you and just clearing that guard.
Yeah, there's not many people who are actually going for the guard. There was a couple of times in that last game I realised we probably should have cleared it, but I think it's just more down to the experience and people just thinking it's all about getting into that 4 foot.
Absolutely. I think you realise that you haven't cleared the guard and then it's too late.
Yeah, especially because sometimes you leave it for the other team to run in and then you get into a lot of trouble if they make that run back well. So because we had a case of that where we were serving nicely and then Ross played the guard and then we ended up in a lot of trouble.
Just have a look here at the angles. It's a lot of cluster around that centre. There's not much poking out. David, what would your thoughts be on the shot choice here?
I think they had the opportunity with regard to the last stone.
Yep.
It was the first stone game. I agree entirely with what Adam said about the lineup favouring the Blues at the moment, but I still think moving the guard would have been the right shot. Once you start hitting things in that cluster, and things will open out, you spread them about a bit.
Good things happen.
And you've still got plenty of stones to come.
Yeah, because even if you peel the guard and you run it in, if you split it with an open, it's making it a lot easier for you, because you want to make sure you're scoring your 2 here. And then going down the 7th, 2 up without.
Yeah, what do you think about, they haven't elected to take the power play in this end, would you have?
I think so, yeah. Because you've got Hammer in the 6th and you're tied. I think after forcing them to win their power play, I think you've got the momentum and you really want to take that power play and just keep it open for yourself. Because they played a really good end last time and managed to get the force of 1, so you probably should have went for it. And just
we thought we were going to see a power play. But there's valid reasons not to take it.
I don't think he's just forgotten that there's a power play available to him.
We'll make sure to play this back after in the debrief.
Oh yes, yes. Don't worry, we'll get Andrew in when Adam's on the live stream.
This is you see this style of sweeping we're seeing it from right behind the stone. Okay, we see it really common now. It's really tough, especially in mixed doubles, because you can't see the line to call the line as the player.
I try and, when I'm doing it, I'm slightly just sweeping both sides, but I try and keep my legs on either side just so Molly can see the line.
Yeah.
Because there have been times where, even this season when you're playing team curling, that if you're going right behind it, you cannot see what's going, and if the person in the head's not sure of the way, then
it's really tough.
It is really tough, and you're really putting a lot of pressure if there's someone in the head to make sure they call it.
Yeah.
So, but it's 100% the best way to sweep, but it's just trying to find.
So you're convinced of that, are you?
I think so, yeah. I think it is. It does hold it.
Well, that's official then.
That's it then. That's the new official policy for British curling and Scottish curling, determined for the next 27 years.
Okay. Thank you, Adam. Yep, that's done. Moving on.
Karen et al. Yes. 2018.
So that's like me competition. Come on.
No, we're supporting you there.
So looking at these angles, the angles still look quite good
for blue.
That top blue, they've got to play that in-turn draw, and just even if they lose their yellow to the edge of the pin, edge of the 4-foot, then they're still in a good position. Whereas trying to come around here is really tricky.
I don't know what that has really accomplished. He has something to come in off now.
Yeah, but he's still. I don't know how he's still struggling to scores too.
He may even struggle to score. I think it's really tight here. I mean,
Eli's shot. I think that his yellow is short, but it's quite risky.
Both blues are staying, I think.
Yeah, both blues aren't going anywhere, so he's in a lot of trouble.
Yellow probably stays.
Yeah.
So with mixed doubles, you say you don't play it very often. Do you enjoy playing it, Adam?
I think it's really good because you get to play a lot more soft shots and it's a lot more technical, and it's more about you really have to get your weight, because the first couple of ends, if you don't get your weight, then the other team is just going to punish you. So I think it really works in your soft game, and it really helps you improve if you're remembering exactly what weight to play, because you've got to remember so many different weights and all the baths and all that, and it's a lot.
The interesting contrast in this game, where Faye and Andrew have the brush held in the head much more than your brother, and we're just sitting chatting away. There's pros and cons, obviously, but especially when you have right and left handers and all the variability that brings to the ice, it's tough to really be sure of your ice and tough to really focus on a target without a brush being there.
Well, the way me and Molly do it is for anything above kind of hack weight, we have someone holding the brush. Because then they can just kind of go out and sweep it. But if we're throwing like hack or like background or just draws, then we have someone there timing it, because obviously the timing of those stones is still quite key.
So you're using a centre line to hog timer on your down weights, yeah? And sweeping, obviously.
And sweeping, yeah.
So you're using a split time.
I don't know why she's playing this.
She's got rid of a few yellows, which is good. We'll just flick to the other angle so we can see the overhead. We've got Holly in the way, but as we said,
the triple's there.
The triple is there.
2/3, yeah, 2/3. I think they'll go. And you got it to I3. So.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I don't know.
Forcing.
Yeah, they were forcing.
One was good.
Yeah.
And just chasing the shots. You've got to. It's the end. What was the plan for the end? You come back to that. Only you've introduced it every time. What's the plan for the end?
Yeah.
Is the plan for the end still there? Then play the plan.
That's played right into Andrew and Holly's hands.
But maybe they, of course, weren't planning to force. You know, we don't know what they were planning.
They wanted to steal 3. But I don't mind that shot on the last. If you leave them the triple for
No,
last,
absolutely.
You know, but this, I don't quite like.
Well, he's still at his out turn, so there's definitely more chance than if he was still at his in turn.
There's some insight there, some family insight.
He's high, and he's take the triple.
What a shot.
What a shot.
No.
Well done. And I mean, if his brother says what a shot, then I think that must be good. We've had one triple from you and Kyle today. We've had another triple there from Andrew.
We've had a triple measure.
We have had a triple measure.
We nothing like a good measure, you know.
We almost had a 6-foot measure for one in the rings.
I saw that actually, but I'm just thinking it's a shame Andrew's not done that in Super League all season. But I mean, you can't.
Does he play with you in the Super League?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Well, team dynamics, you know, maybe they're just not quite right, boys.
Well, I've played against them, and their team dynamics are shocking.
But we went 12-1 in the Super League this year, win to loss. So.
What, you lost 12?
No, we won.
That's the end of that, right? On we go.
And was that in Edinburgh?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So up to the big guns in Division 1 next season.
Oh, Division 2?
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't really count then, does it?
I wouldn't be saying that. Owen's in Division 2 as well.
What's the big names in the Edinburgh First Division Super League then?
Well, I'm in Division 2.
Mount,
so that's a big name.
A big name?
He's in.
Ian Kerrin plays, that's a big name.
well, in his own pond, yeah.
There's Jamie Dick plays.
Jamie Dick? Very famous father, Jamie Dick.
His dad plays as well, Trevor Dodds. And then you've got Blair Fraser, Colin Campbell. And
so let's face it, boys, it's not a patch on the Perth Super League, is it?
Well, I mean, we've got Bruce, so.
We're right, I'll put an end to this geographical mudslinging. We'll focus on the game in hand. So Faye and Andrew are faced with a difficult shot here. They look to be elected for a freeze, which are really aggressive playing. What do you think about that, Adam?
I think you're almost giving up 2 here if you're pulling the freeze. I think if you really want to force, you try to hit no behind that yellow and then you force Holloway, but it's maybe only a 2-foot run, so it's makeable. But pulling the freeze, then you're almost, if you're not, don't make it, you're losing 4, and then you're in trouble. That's
my worry. I think even the hitting was good, but then a nose hit, which is the kind of the mess.
There are still 2 ends after this end.
Yes.
And I think losing a 3 or 4s could be fatal, whereas losing a 2 wouldn't be.
Losing a 2, you get your 2 straight back, your peels, where before you've got.
And this is bouncing a little bit, I think.
Andrew.
It's a good attempt. It's a really good attempt, but you half it out for 3.
Yeah, you just go for
unless you're really thin and lose your winger.
Go for a clean pick.
Half it out for 3. Oh, you know it's hit it for 3 actually.
Yeah, probably the swords are pretty
That's
spingy,
maybe easier. That's maybe easier.
Hair high appeal weight.
Just hair high, you get 3.
I think that was. This end has seen some really high quality stuff actually. That we maybe
some good shots, and then whether the call was right to blast with the Blues. Yeah. The opposition make a triple, you think your call was wrong, but
I mean, if Andrew doesn't make that triple, then they're still in trouble. But that's an end saver.
But I don't think you need to play that. You were forcing one. They had to make all the play. If you guard up there, they're forced to take a 1, and then you have control, and then you still have your opportunity.
100% throwing Faye Blasson it was dead putting them in a lot of trouble because they opened it upwards.
She played a good shot. Played the shot they called.
They played the shot they called, but I don't know if it 100% helped them. Gotta go. It's just good.
Pretty good, I think. They've got out of jail. They've got out of jail, and they know it.
Wow. That changes things. So the boss was a good call in the end, then.
Well, this is when you go to the debrief as the coach, you've no grounds to stand on. But we're still around, coach. I think they'll recognise they were fortunate there.
Yeah, 100%.
So scores and doors: Craig 12, Carrick 3, Bryden 7, Rowley 4 after 5, and Cromar 3, Brown 9 after 3-9 after 5. So
I was Andrew and Holly. I'd be going power play here because you really want to score 2 or 3 here.
Well, if they don't go power play here, they might not get to use it.
Yeah, exactly. Because if they
Because if they score at 7, they ain't going to be allowed to use it.
and they're not electing the power play. Shocking. I'm going to ask when I end the game if you forgot you could use it.
I think if you're Faye and Andrew here, you're definitely wanting to force one here because you don't want them to have that power play in the next.
100% for you. You don't really. If you steal one, then you're 2 up. But mixed doubles, anything happens. So you really want to force and have that hammer.
Yeah, if you steal a 1 here, they can use the power play, can't they?
If Faye,
Whereas if you force a 1 here, they can't.
yeah, you force the one.
So that's just something you just never think about in.
So in Budapest. Oh no! What's happened there? Oh. Goodness me, Andrew Robson, what are you doing?
He burnt it.
I think he burnt it and then chucked it.
And they Faye burnt it, and then Andrew burnt it again.
So in Budapest, anyway, in the CCT, Swedish team of Norin were playing the Russians, and the score was 7-7. It was tied coming into the 7th end, and the Swedish had taken their power play, but the Russians hadn't. And in the 7th end, for his last stone, Per Norin was left with an empty house. But there was a Russian guard that was about 3 foot from the rings. So he purposely chipped them in, so that they scored one. They couldn't take their power play. He had hammer, was 1 up playing the last, took us to him on the game.
That's brilliant, though. But that is brilliant thinking.
That's really smart thinking.
And sorry, I'm not familiar with them, but have they played mainly mixed, that team?
Yeah, they're a mixed double specialist.
So there you go. That is a very different nuance of the rule.
And we see Holly just a little bit heavy there. She's chipped and rolled off. She's really missed an opportunity there, I think, to take control.
She gets top batting there, then already Andrew and Faye are struggling. But it is running very fast out there, and if you're a wee bit heavy, they are.
How fast is it?
We were going for about 310, 315 for your T weight.
Okay.
If you're a wee bit heavy, it's just running a long way. Like even if you're 4 feet heavy, then you're getting a lot less curl.
We experienced that at CCT a couple of weeks ago. That was similar weights.
Looks like it's on the guard. Oh, she's passed. But is she heavy?
She's back ring weight anyway, isn't she? Ooh. So still wide open. Who makes the first stone controls the end. And there's plenty of room. Top 4 around the centre, eh?
Yeah, just throw that intern draw. Get this top batting, even top 4, and you're looking already nice. But it's so swingy, even if they go top 4, Faye and Andrew still have that draw to the back, but it still curls that
that's
hard.
why we've chosen this position 2 for the short guards. Ice is so swingy, which is a great for mixed doubles. Just not quite so good on the corner guard because it's maybe it's just one side of the sheet, but
this looks quite nice. If Holly can get that moving, don't want to overdo it. It's a pretty decent shot.
Yeah, I thought that would finish a little more actually.
Yeah.
I think it's that path that we've talked about just on the centre line, David.
Just getting to the bank on the other side.
Or it's Andrew's dodgy intern, one of the two.
These are the family insights that we
I'm in no position to criticise anybody's intern.
So what do you think your brother's highlight of the season was?
I'm not really sure. I mean, we got to the quarterfinals at the universities. We won the international gathering at Murrayfield. He helped us qualify for the Scottish Juniors.
Yeah, he did do that.
And he played exceptionally well.
He did. I remember that.
He did play exceptionally well. I praised him that weekend for once.
Didn't he play in the finals at all? No.
No, it'd be a bit of controversy over selection. Won't get into that.
Goodness. I think we need to get into that. We've delved below the surface.
We've opened the box.
Yes. And you know what was left when Pandora's box was open?
I think. Who?
Matt Smith. What do you know? What was left when Pandora's box was open? It's quite lovely, actually.
Is it?
Hope.
Oh yes, that's right. You're such an educated guy.
I know.
I feel way out of my depth.
A mere veterinary surgeon.
Yeah. Struggle.
He's almost 100, remember, guys. Come on, he's been around here a while.
You're a classics man.
I did. I studied Latin at university briefly. I did.
Well, that's done you a lot of good in your present role.
Dealing with ancient
You
civilizations.
should maybe write some of the rules out in Latin. You might as well, for the number of people that read them.
So this gives a great chance here for Andrew and Holly to take control of this end. I think they'll be wanting to come maybe half check behind the guard, top 8, top 4, top 12.
I think even if you have check on your own one, just make that draw even harder. Force them to come the outturn. But by the looks of it,
Both on. Both
don't want to be on the guard.
All over the guard.
I think that's the second time he's done that. But he's played fairly well.
You're right enough about his intern.
Just we have played enough of this season to know.
That's just soft then, is it?
Yeah.
Tight, soft. I don't know. We can't really see the release, but
He tends to be out here tight, and if you're tight on this side,
it's funny because we focus a lot on technical improvement for you youngsters. You know, with our regular coaching things, and especially on big swingy ice, arena ice like this. You know, being soft, lack of rotation, really kills you, doesn't it? So, and I think mix is a really good learning ground for it. You've alluded to that earlier. Bruce Mount thinks that a lot of his downweight, middleweight shots have improved since playing mixed.
There was a lot of talk of that during the playoffs. That one of Bruce's main thing, like in the last game, is Kyler made that soft weight around the guard 3 times in a row. And that's a shot he plays a lot of mixed doubles. And
I know Alan Hanna believes that, you know, and he's coached him such a lot.
And he's always so precise with his draw away as well. Like he's always.
We should maybe use this as a practice draw, some mixed. For you know, break up the, you know, have a variety of our draws.
When we have team sessions, we sometimes do play just a game of mixed doubles.
If there's 4 of you there, you know, a game of mixed doubles is really easy to do.
Just a rack there on the centre guard, and that's not great. It gives them another chance. What we'll do here, just to pick on Andrew, we'll cut to this view, and we can, David and Adam, you can maybe talk us through this release and where the plus points and the negative points.
Is this one he? Is this his next shot, or is this one with? Yeah.
So this is.
He
He might change the outturn here, but he's going for his
he's going in.
He's heard us ask for it.
He's going in, right, look at it. So it's pretty good set on the stone. That to me looked like he popped that back a little bit. I'm happy with that release. I don't know what he did with the one, in front.
Yeah, it may have just been it was a hair light. But
and sometimes you slide a wee bit tight or whatever.
Looking at it, I think it may have just been a hair light, and he's passed here.
It really does move.
You don't. You're miles past. You're sweeping when you're miles past.
It's just a wee bit heavier there.
So that's biased commentary.
Rambo in the last game kept referring to we.
He's actually improved the end though.
Yeah, because
he's chipped to yellow far enough.
He sits 3 now. They've got to be perfect at the last, or they are losing a 4.
Well, Andrew came through with a clutch draw on the last end, so let's see if we can follow it up with this.
See, now they're holding a brush here, which I like, but then I've said that about 400 times. So maybe
do you like it?
Like that.
Do you?
I mean, you like it until halfway down, and it's being swept, and there's no sweeper there.
Well, the player can sweep it though.
Yeah, but I feel like.
Do you jump up and join in?
I usually get up and follow the stone a wee bit.
Well, it's anything. They're going the other hand.
Yeah, I think
because you can see a wee bit of it, but there's a nice finish on the in-turn.
Yeah.
Well, there is to the centre line anyway, and then it maybe doesn't quite finish.
I think even if you hit this a hair high, even if you bump it, then Holly's got to try and get to the inside with the last.
Well, you're assuming you're only T-weight.
Yeah.
But coming this way, Holly, of course, is a left-hander, so if you're coming this way, she will be able to see more of it.
So
she'll also get more swing.
She'll get a bigger finish, but she'll be able to see more of the stone. So this is a big shot in this game.
Oh, he's taking more ice.
I don't disagree with that. You can never take too much ice on these sheets.
I think Andrew and Holly will definitely feel like they've been knocking on the door for the last couple of ends. They just haven't quite finished things off for a big end.
Yeah, they've had their chances, they just haven't taken them. But that's a game of mixed doubles. It usually comes down to one shot and an end. And by the looks of it, Andrew's on the guard here. So
draw for 4.
I think they'll throw the outturn here.
They'll throw the outturn now.
Yeah,
moved that far enough, and you can take loads of ice, and it'll come down. Because we've seen them swing it right across the centre line here.
I think now that you can afford to take a wee bit less than Andrew and Faye because that blows out the way, but all he's got to do is be full 8 here for the 4.
She does have some backing to come to, but that can almost be
the power play would have made no difference.
Seems not. They're good enough. They're good enough for the regulars, so they can score 4. So we may as well.
I hate it when I'm wrong. That happens very rarely, fortunately.
So I'd say that was quite a lot then.
It can be quite dangerous when you have backing. If you think about that backing,
That'd be a bit heavy, but even if that's the thing though, she thinks she's got backing, she's a wee bit heavy. It won't run that couple.
I
feet
think in
straighter.
this situation, because there's a lot of stones to chip and run to, you can afford to be back 8 weight here, and it'll still be 4.
Because even if you're a wee bit wide and you just tick that ball, you're still going straight to that.
Finish huge.
They're not done it yet.
I thought he was going on it.
Andrew Robson with some positive body language you can see in the left hand side of your picture.
This looks heavy. Is it going to take the other one? Oh, she's got away with it. So there we go. 4 for.
No prizes for not being in the rings. Most short putt ever was hold.
You never want to be short there. There's no point being short. Apart from if you thought like peel it, then.
So.
Here we go. 3 up going down last.
9, 6.
But they can't take the. Well, we talked about this, and
you can't. Yeah, you can tick it if you want.
But you're 3 up without. I don't think you want to tick it.
No, I think mixed doubles you definitely want to tick it. So they might tick it, but then again they might go top.
I don't think they'll tick it.
Yeah. But I think they'll.
Because if you tick it, you put 2 corners on.
Yeah. So I think if they go top button, and then I think they peel it as soon as they can and just keep it open.
Hopefully they'll remember that they can peel.
So they don't even get the first hit. So I think they're going for it. They're going for the tick shot.
This is very interesting.
This is dangerous. I think that this could create 2 corners.
Unless they lose their shooter here, then
I think this is.
This is quite tricky. This is a Hammy McMillan speciality coming up, and it's really curling. So it's fair nosing it straight back isn't a disaster. That Rambo's shaking his head at that.
They've got away with that completely, haven't they?
Yeah, that's quite a lucky shot right there, to be fair.
A fortunate result, I think they say in the business.
So
that's
now they're in a really
draw for you.
Could only do that on power 5s.
Seems that Karen and Davis are only interested in scoring 4s this game.
That's the way to do it.
Force 1, take 4.
I won a game 7-6 last year and I took a 5 and 2 1s. That's the way to do it. So I think you could be. I was 5-1 up in the quarter-final last year and lost to 4. You're never too far from mixed doubles because
this is where it pulls big.
Yeah, that's really pulling, and they're just going to create a nice wee pocket here, and that's really going into Andrew and Holly's favour now.
Well, if they weld that now, it's tough to score big.
Yeah,
2 in his button. It's tough for Blues to score 3.
Even if he just sits right in that pocket there, then.
But had they played the tick and created 2 corners, I think that allows Blues a chance to set up an end for 3. 100%. So that's what I want. Question whether you play a tick. Just because you're up, why would you play the tick? Because you don't have the hammer.
Yeah. I think if you ticked it into the rings and almost lost your shooter, you'd be.
I still think if you freeze the back stone.
Yeah, it's probably the best
tough to score. Big end for the opposition.
They then do have to try and unlock that stone.
We saw that from Millie and Callum earlier on.
Yeah, they just bottled it up.
Interesting they've taken this hand. I would have thought they'd take the other hand. So again, they've kind of got away with it, but you think they come the other hand where it's easier to get to that pocket. So I think we will see the guard coming off if they makes this draw.
So they could have peeled the guard there if they wanted to, couldn't they?
No.
That was only a third stone.
Third stone, sorry, yes.
I think Faye's got to bump this. Yeah.
So there are now 5 stones in play, so hits are allowed. I don't expect that we'll see Henderson.
They need to free the back blue.
Yeah, so I think
and sit on the top of the yellow.
Yeah, even if you thought it's like back 8
and then hope something happens to make a play at that.
Hope to put Andrew in his own turn.
Because they're going to have to. Well, they've how many left? They've 4 left. They're going to have to keep one of these at least to score 3.
Yeah. not sweeping as it's coming down. It is hanging out there. But it does.
Pool's big at the
Pool's
end.
massive.
Pool's
Just
big at the
as it
end.
hits the hogline, it does really go. So she's looking quite nice here. She's pulling a really nice weight. If she can spring that yellow, then it's quite a nice shot. Because you can definitely, the yellow is definitely going somewhere now. I think it.
If you peel the guard now, they have to guard it again.
Yeah, I think the peel on the guard's the right call.
I think you have to peel the guard now.
Because if you make the perfect freeze on top.
If you peel the guard now, they guard again. You peel the guard.
So
because the thing in your favour at the minute is they are sitting 2, so ultimately they are going to have to put one in the rings at some point. So if you peel guard, peel guard, peel guard.
If you peel the guard and they put it in the rings, they could potentially leave a double, and if they put it in the wrong place, another triple for Andrew to make. So right now you could almost maybe get all 3 blues gone if there was no guard there.
Yeah, I think you could.
Because I think if you just,
you could,
because you'll get a wee kick off that yellow.
You could. The only plus if they guard again, and you peel it, then you just don't peel it with your last one because they have to make a play.
Exactly. So they play the guard and you put another one round, then what do they do?
Just keep them honest at the moment.
Yeah. Try and call them off. I think Andrew needs a wee bit of hair gel there just to flatten that wee spike. This will, I think. So they've elected not to peel the guard. Brave. So he's really got to get to the nose of this here. Because he really wants to be able to set up that.
Has rubbed off, but he may sit in second shot position, so not horrible. I think though because of the shot choice that they had elected to, they are committed now to playing this game, and
they've got to make a play. They've got to really make a play on both yellows at the same time almost.
They can lie 3.
Yeah. If they play this the right way, yeah.
3 round the guard.
what shot would you call, David?
Out-turn.
Out-turn draw.
Chip the yellow.
Yeah.
Chip it out the rings. Out of the 4-foot.
Yeah.
Just catch quarter of the yellow.
Yeah.
This
And we
is-
know it pulls big.
This is essentially how Switzerland scored 4 against Canada in the World Championship final. Kept everything tight around that and just chipped away. And
I think
chipped away.
if they'd moved the guard with the last shot, then they had to replace
to
the
put the
guard
guards.
perfect.
Or if they didn't.
And you bang
Andrews-
it again, and then you play that with your last stone.
Yeah. I think they've 100% played that too early and they've got themselves in a bit of a situation now.
One for the debrief, perhaps.
Here she comes. So we're throwing that out-turn draw again. I think it's heavy. She doesn't really want to roll off here because they might leave Andrew in off. So
That's not a good result really for Henderson Robson, and I think if Andrew does make the draw in here, then it's pretty much game over.
they've left the door open. I don't know if you could almost squirt that blue out the middle. If you throw a big weight on the, because we don't have overhead, you can't see. But if you throw a big weight, that you go on the left.
I don't know if I would do that though.
Yeah.
Because you could move 2 yellows out.
Yeah.
Maybe you couldn't. I don't think you need to take that risk.
No, I think if you just look at out turn draw again.
Exactly.
What's he's going for?
On his out turn, not his in turn.
His out turn's fine. Maybe a wee bit soft, but you can deal with that. So he's really got to go here. They're really struggling for the line. Oh, he's played it perfect. He's even going to get a wee bump off that blue. That's a. And now the angles are favouring the yellows.
So the blue is pretty much surrounded by yellows. Very difficult to see how.
Yellow might be shot, but no matter what you do, I mean, then the yellows are 2, 3, 4 if not. So I can't really see any way of them scoring 3 right now unless they really blasted that guard in and just ripped it on.
So Adam, you're on in the next game. Who's your opposition?
Max Moody we're playing.
Oh yeah, Max Moody and Hannah Farries. Local pair, they'll know the ice.
Local advantage isn't everything.
Yes, they took part in the CCT as well.
Yeah, well they didn't play this morning, so they'll be a wee bit fresher. But we've had practice last night. We played this morning. We know what the ice is doing. We know it's swinging hard. So we know it's fast. So I think home advantage is almost way just now, unless it comes down to stones or certain sheets. But I think it'll be a good game, and we just need to go out there and just get our head early, because our problem was we just couldn't get rocks in the right place in the first few stones, and then we were playing difficult shots for our last. We just want to try and make it a wee bit easier for ourselves so we can get that W on the board.
Processes.
It's all Ramble's coaching, eh?
I think it does, and this game is different to do because obviously there's only 2 years. There's not something on the bus. I think it does affect the way your pre-shot routines, your actually recognition of what the ice is doing. And you don't have the benefit of somebody else timing, no. But there might be ways of coping with that. Just develop that as you're getting a feel for it.
So just to update you on we have one result so far, and that's in Section A. So Craig has beaten Carrick 11-3. They shook hands after 6 ends. At the minute, Bryden is going down the last end. They are 8-5 up on Rowley. Rowley does have the hammer. Brown has just scored a big 4 to go 9-3 up after 5. And then, of course, we do have our feature game. So I think once again, David, we've picked probably the best game of the bunch to watch.
We've picked the closest game anyway.
Well, that's true.
There's a bit of
the great thing about that is we haven't moved sheet yet.
That'll come
tonight.
Yes, Adam, of course you're live streamed later on tonight. Are you feeling nervous about that, about the wrath of Rambo here on commentary?
No, I've had the wrath of Rambo before, so it's all the same. He just tells you what you should be doing, but obviously you can't hear him, so it's almost pointless. But no, it's a wee bit different being live streamed. You've got to watch what you do because there's other people watching. But what a debate on this shot.
Yeah, I think actually they were thinking like you were, that they had to run the guard up to have an outside chance of making anything happen.
I almost think if you get that guard right into the crotch, those 2 yellows, you might spill them both.
The middle yellow stays, but maybe you've got some shot off it. Whereas
obviously you're running a yellow.
I'm not sure what they're playing. Maybe they are playing that though.
Either that, they might be playing that with a slash. Didn't catch it thin, they might get
I just
but
don't see that.
I think it'll tick up and just roll back up. It's fair, she's not far away. See, she's just now that's pretty much game, unless Andrew really messes it up.
It's Holly's shot, so Andrew I don't think can do too much damage.
That's true. So Holly's not going to be able to hit her shot. So. But no, I think if they get us locked onto that pocket, then unless they play some miraculous shot,
I can't see you moving both yellows.
No, because they're both jamming pretty much as well. If they put one right top 4 here, then I think
there's actually a slight danger if a yellow top 8 they could ram it into them. But
yeah, I think by the looks of it, the yellow might. I think they all just collide into blues.
I think and actually I think they're on the line 2 blues anyway, because the back 4-foot yellow beats the one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You'd have to move it a little bit.
Not sure they are lying 2 blues. I think it's just 1 blue. Oh, you mean if you go rid?
Yeah, if you ripped open, yeah. So might even see handshakes before the shot's played.
We're certainly looking at things, gesturing with stones. Holly gesturing with stones. With brushes, yes.
It's a bit heavy here. Andrew's just trying to make this. You don't really. Whoa. That's fine. Yeah. They've got to make a triple and life for you after this.
If Faye would move out of the way, we might be able to see some of the angles, but.
Bang on the last one. I don't think you can.
The middle yellow's not going anywhere.
Yeah, there are two. Not even if the guard. No, if the guard was there, the middle yellow just jams. Yeah, they can try something, but
You can move 2 yellows, but the middle one locks, I think.
yeah, the middle one I don't know how you managed to get there. I'm sure I should spring it up the house, but don't even see
Because
how
you've got to use it to hit off the edge of the
Yeah, exactly.
rebound.
Yeah, exactly. So, seen a bit of debate here, but all in all, hauling in.
It's just the last game running, Owen.
Seems to be. Looks like Brown has defeated Cromer, and Riley scored a 1 in the last, so it was 8-6 then in the end with Bryden. So I think your practice will be starting pretty soon, Adam.
Oh, he's just moved all the stones down before the game finishes. That's rather irregular.
I hope they do make it now so they have an extra and they'll have to bring them back up.
I am on at 4 o'clock, haven't I?
Yeah.
I suppose I better go get changed then.
Well, thank you very much, Adam, for joining us, and I'm sure Andrew will as well, to pass judgment on your game.
100%, he'll be slagging me off as well. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, boy.
We see here that the final stone is underway from Andrew Robson. I don't think either really think that much is going to come of this, but we shall see. He ended up giving up perhaps a steal of 3. Handshakes anyway. We're not quite sure how that final ended. Certainly a steal of 2.
Certainly it's a win for.
And it's a win for
Davis.
Kieran Davis,
Yep.
which means that they move to 1 win and 1 defeat, and Henderson and Robson drop their first 2, which maybe is a bit of unexpected. But the top 2 in each group do qualify for the quarterfinals, which start on Sunday. Any main takeaways from that game, David?
I thought it was interesting, the difference in the 2 teams. One holding the brush, one not holding the brush, and the team holding the brush lost heavily. But no, I think there was interesting last night. Not moving centre guard discussion there.
Yep.
Probably should have been moved.
Yep.
And also the discussion we had with Adam about the tick at the last. I disagree with him. I think ticking at the last would have played into the hands of the team with the hammer.
I agree. It's creating space.
You don't want to create space. You want to narrow the scoring area down. Yep. Then they really struggle to score more than.
That we didn't see a power play from Kieran and Davis. Perhaps the fact that they had almost scored 4 once gave them some. So.
I think their power play is in general, getting the vibe from you and from picking it, is probably underused. I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And maybe we should develop that more.
Yep. Well, that's
because it's hard to defend. Because the tick is tough to play.
Yes.
Good. Thanks,
anyway,
Ian.
thank you very much for joining us, and we will be back in about 15 or 20 minutes for the next game, and that will be Ross White and Sophie Jackson against Hamish Gallagher. And thank you all for joining in, and we will see you very soon.